Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first BayREN Regional Forum of 2024. We are right at 9 o'clock, and I'll give it a couple minutes to keep letting folks join in and get settled in and ready to learn. For those of you joining, good morning. Welcome to the BayREN Forum, first forum of 2024. It's 9:02. We'll give it just about another minute to let people continue joining in. All right, it is 9:03, Thursday, March 21st. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first BayREN 2024 Regional Forum, where we will be exploring water, energy, and climate and how they're all interrelated. We've got some great speakers to present today, but I first want to give a little bit of background on the BayREN program for those who might not know us. Next slide. The Bay Area Regional Energy Network, or BayREN, is a local government collaboration of the 9 Bay Area counties that utilizes ratepayer funds from the California Public Utilities Commission to run energy efficiency and electrification programs. BayREN aims to build the capacity of local governments to work on increasing energy efficiency in our built environment, reduce carbon emissions to meet local and state climate goals, building local government's capacity, and promoting healthy and energy efficient buildings to better our communities. Next slide. As of the end of 2023, BayREN had 6 programs across the residential, commercial, water, and codes sectors. 4 new programs have either already launched or will be launching later this year that will serve commercial and public buildings, as well as work towards building a green workforce. Today's forum is brought to you by the BayREN Codes and Standards program, so we'll concentrate on what that has to offer. But information about all of BayREN's programs can be found at bayren.org or by contacting your county representative. Next slide. The Codes program aims to increase energy code compliance and share best practices and develop resources for local jurisdictions who wish to go above the state codes. The Codes program provides free live and on-demand classes on a variety of energy, code, and permitting topics. Many are available for continuing education units. You can contact us to schedule a training for your building department staff. The Codes program also offers a heat pump water heater code assistance sheet, an electrical load estimator tool, guides for permit applications on common projects like window replacements and re-roofing, and more, as well as the materials and recordings from the past regional forums on a variety of topics. Next slide. And before we get started with the rest of the forum, we'll do a quick review of Zoom functions. Please keep your video cameras off, but you don't need them. And please use the chat feature to connect and interact with other panelists and other participants. And please direct your questions and comments to the Q&A function. to write down any questions or comments. They'll be compiled and asked to our speakers during our scheduled Q&A sessions after each speaker session. Next slide. Here's what they look like. So the chat will be to interact with panelists and participants, and the Q&A will please direct your questions there. And just a quick disclaimer, the views expressed in these presentations are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the position of the Association of Bay Area Governments, the BayREN program, or the jurisdictions that BayREN represents. Any questions pertaining to the views and information in the presentations should be directed to the authors. Next slide. And BayREN's status of an AI attendee policy. We are in the process of developing a policy on the use of artificial intelligence services during our events. Until that policy is in place, AI services are prohibited. Please do not use any AI services during today's forum. The forum is being recorded, and slides and recording will be available on our website in about a week. All presentations and materials will be emailed to you and available to you online after the forum. Next slide. Today's agenda. We've begun with a little intro on the BayREN and the Codes and Standards forums and programs. I will introduce all of the BayREN representatives from each county here with us today. Our first session of speakers will set the stage for the connections between water resources, energy usage, and climate impacts. The first session will also provide an overview of the different types of water utilities that exist and highlight the BayREN Water Upgrade Save program, a regional water conservation program. We'll break into our first Q&A session, followed by a 10-minute break. The second session will then continue with what local governments can do and some local actions that it can take. Due to a time constraint, we will have for one of our speakers, we'll have a separate Q&A, and then followed by two other speakers and a Q&A session following that. We'll end with closing remarks, and that'll be our day. So now I'd like to introduce our BayREN County reps. BayREN, as a local government collaboration, has a representative from each of the 9 Bay Area counties. We're doing a quick introduction and an icebreaker question, so all of you can get to know who your local BayREN rep is. The icebreaker question today is, tell us something about water in your jurisdiction. I'll pass it first to Jennifer West from Alameda County, and we'll move from left to right on this screen.
Thanks, Ryan. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer West, and I work at Stop Waste. In Alameda County, Stop Waste has promoted the use of compost and mulch in landscape in our county and in the region, originally through Bay Friendly Landscape and now through Rescape Rated Landscape. And do you see how this connects to water? By applying organic material to landscape, we improve the soil structure and water retention capabilities of soil. Less irrigation is then required and water is not wasted. Additionally, more carbon can be sequestered with abundant plant growth. And since 2015, state law requires this in what's called the WELO or MWELO, and requires compost and mulch application as well. So by reducing water consumption outside, we're saving energy. I will pass it then to Adam.
Thanks, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Scarborough, and I'm a sustainability planner for Contra Costa County. I'm also the BayREN rep for all programs aside from the single-family program. So there are many examples of the water energy nexus in Contra Costa County. The one I wanted to highlight was the Clifton Court Forebay, which is located in East County in the southern portion of the Delta. The Clifton, or the Forebay, is a reservoir that serves as the origination point for the state water project's California Aqueduct. And this aqueduct exports water hundreds of miles south to meet a substantial portion of Southern California's urban and agricultural water needs. There are numerous pumping stations throughout this aqueduct system, including the Banks Pumping Plant, which lifts water 244 feet out of the Clifton Court Forebay into the aqueduct system. These pumps use massive amounts of energy, and as a result, the State Water Project is the largest consumer of electricity in the state. And I'll pass it on to Kellen.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Kellen Damon. I'm a program coordinator with the County of Marin and a BayREN representative for Marin. I wanted to share a little history about MCE. Marin Clean Energy, now known as MCE Clean Energy, started in Marin County, and Marin Water was actually one of the early founders and partners and provided funding because they're one of the highest electricity users in the county. So they recognize the importance of, if they were going to use so much energy, it needed to be from renewable sources. So that's a good, I thought that was a good little bit of MCE history, which is, for those who don't know, is the first community choice aggregator to pop up, and just the connection between water and energy and climate with that. So I'll pass it over. Ryan, I don't know if we're skipping you. I'll pass it over to Barry.
That's fine.
Sorry. Good morning. I'm Barry Hooper. I'm, excuse me, a senior green building coordinator with the city and county of San Francisco. And just want to share a couple of fun facts about the regional water system, which is managed by the SFPUC. So it delivers water to not only San Francisco, but 27 other districts and wholesale consumers around the region. And it conveys that water primarily from the Tuolumne River, but also Bay Area watersheds via gravity, so a siphon system rather than using energy to move the water. Alero, what can we learn from you?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Alara Moju, County of San Mateo, Sustainability Department. We just got rebranded. So a little bit about San Mateo County. We currently have 39 green infrastructure projects across the county, and those are increasing. And these features encompass a variety of innovations from median improvements to bioswales, designed to capture rainwater flowing from urbanized surfaces. We just are wrapping up construction of a new LEED Platinum County office building at the heart of our county center in Redwood City, and that hosts quite a few green infrastructure projects as well. And then also we do a lot of resilience work around our shorelines. We have one shoreline which formed in 2020 to address sea level rise. And I'll pass things on to Brianne.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brianne Boyle. I am a sustainability analyst at the County of Santa Clara Sustainability Office. And a fun fact about water in our county. So in Santa Clara County, about half of our drinking water supply comes from hundreds of miles away in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And it requires quite a bit of energy to pump and transport that water to us. A small percentage of our drinking water is actually from recycled water sources. And recycled water is essentially wastewater that is treated to a very high standard, so it becomes clean enough to drink. And recycled water uses much less energy than importing water because of the energy savings from not needing to pump and transport it. And I will turn it over to Nandi.
Hello, I'm Nandi Loggins-Lever. I am your Solano County rep. Depending on where you are in Solano County, depends on where your water comes from, but one of Solano's key water suppliers is the Solano County Agency. It's a wholesale water supply agency provided untreated water to cities and agricultural districts in our county. Roughly 83% of Solano County's water comes from Lake Berryessa, with the remaining 17% being diverted from the Sacramento-San Juan Delta. Our North Bay Attic pipeline delivers water from Baker Slough into the Delta to Solano agencies like Solano County Agency for Water Supply. And I will pass it on to Christine.
Good morning. My name is Christine Condon. I'm an energy and sustainability analyst for the County of Sonoma and also the BayREN Codes and Standards rep for the county. Something great about water in Sonoma County, the county's part of the Sonoma Marin Water Saving Partnership that represents 13 water utilities in Sonoma and Marin counties that have joined together to provide regional solutions for water use efficiency. All of these parties receive water from a common wholesale supplier, Sonoma Water. Each of these partners offer water conservation programs that can assist customers in reducing their water use. Sonoma Water contracts over 99% of its electricity needs through renewables and non-fossil fuel-based resources, achieving a carbon-neutral electricity supply to power its systems.
And Karen, I don't know if you want to go.
Yep, I think that comes back to me. Thank you. I'm Karen Christensen. I'm a principal program manager at ABAG MTC, and I lead the Codes and Standards program for BayREN. So as we were working to put this forum together, we started to see how complex this topic is. We've got some great speakers today, and I'm eager to get started. So I'm going to just turn it back over to Ryan. Thanks.
Great. And I'll introduce myself again. I am Ryan Melendez. I am a sustainability planner with the County of Napa. And just give a bit of background on Napa's water for this question. We have a lot of different water sources in Napa County, from from locally and state-owned reservoirs, water treatment facilities, groundwater wells, supplies from the State Water Project. It comes from a myriad of sources. And Napa County as a whole, we pride ourselves on being a primarily agricultural community, and most of the vineyards and wineries that have produced world-famous wines here rely mainly on groundwater wells, and in some places, as Brianne mentioned, recycled water. Moving large amounts of water for agricultural use can be very energy intensive and stress our already fragile groundwater system. So many of the vineyards and wineries and residential areas have already been implementing best practices for saving water and energy. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from our speakers today about what local governments can do to promote water and energy conservation. All right, next slide. And lastly, before passing things off to our first speaker, I wanted to provide a little bit of context for the topic we're addressing today. We've heard a lot from our county reps, but here in California, we've seen and felt the effects that climate change has on our daily lives. We've seen prolonged seasons of drought, stressed water resources, and we've seen crazy rainfall and snowfall seasons causing massive flooding events, tens of millions of dollars worth of damage. Even just recently in February of this year, seeing a massive storm that toppled trees, damaged power lines, left more than 850,000 homes and businesses across the state without power. We've seen wildfires out of control and thousands of labor hours and millions of dollars across sectors to try to mitigate these wildfire risks. And we've seen public safety power shutoffs, or PSP events, leaving residents and businesses without electricity. And luckily, we're seeing a growing need for renewable energy production, such as solar, wind, hydroelectric, and more. And today we're discussing the water energy nexus, or the relationship between water and energy, and the water used for energy production, and the energy that is consumed and needed to extract, purify, deliver, heat and cool, treat, and dispose of water and wastewater. We'll also discuss actions that local governments can take to improve the efficiency of their water use and decrease their overall water use, leading to less energy demand relating to water.